11-11, make a wish.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another NASCAR breakdown brought to you by DFS Army. We're taking a look at the Homestead 400 Straight Talk Wireless burner phone, 1.5 mile track. Taco with me to break it all down. What's going on, Taco?
Hell yeah, I can't wait for the Homestead Miami Saul Goodman burner phone 400.
Let's go. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Hell yeah.
Is Homestead in Miami? Yeah. Homestead's like by
yep.
Miami, right? Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
nice.
were like scooping from the lake inside of the track to put out brush fires around there like yesterday. It's pretty cool looking.
In honor of this track, I am wearing my Florida Gators gear today.
In honor of Florida, I'm going to go freak out on a cop on his body cam.
Yeah. While high on meth or no?
Hell, yeah. Oh, come on.
Or actually not meth, synthetic marijuana. Do that one instead.
Synthetic marijuana wine combo.
Oh, yeah. There we go. So, Taco, before the breakdown, before we even got started, you said, what's awesome about this track is we literally just saw its twin sister last week. Mm-hmm. So what happened? Where were we last week?
We're at Las Vegas. And
what happens
if you look at the correlation matrix, like they are the two highest correlated tracks by far.
So wait. What happens in Vegas stays in Miami? What the hell's going on here?
I mean, two wild party cities. I don't know. But what's really happening is some high bankings and some pretty easy passing with the multiple grooves. If you look throughout the averages by 4 starting positions chart, you can see it all over the place. It's pretty evenly spread because qualifying is often weird here. It was weird this week. It was weird last week. And you're going to hear it from the announcers a lot. They're going to be parroting the word parity because, boy, did we see some parity last week. We saw 7K guy win the race in Josh Berry, another 7K guy in Austin Cindric be a straight up dominator out there. Like it's scary to unfriend people now. The field
I don't know what's going on,
but it's ever been. It used to be like a quarter of the field has a chance to win. Now it feels like 2/3 or like 3/4 of the field has a chance to win. So that's just kind of the narrative right now. And we're going to have to look heavily off of last week. Heavily when making our decisions, because that was our first 1.5 mile track we've seen this year. And the most recent one before that was Homestead, and the most recent one before that was Las Vegas, because usually this race is at the end of the year. Used to be the championship race. Now they're moving it back to the spring. So after this race, the last 4 races will have all taken place in Las Vegas and Homestead for the 1.5. So pretty common. You see the wall riders do well here. You also see the wall riders do well at Las Vegas. Makes a lot of sense that they're super similar. So we're looking at last week, and we're not really looking at starting position all that much. And you'll see when you look through the field, like the favorites in this race are starting like back there in the teens and the 20s.
Yeah, it's a lot of what happened last week. I already see here that the pole sitter does not have that big of a kind of a special edge in this track at all.
Nope.
No, nothing special here for the top 4. Really, you could play drivers starting from anywhere according to the averages. Mm-hmm. So again, guys, we've seen a lot of different. We've seen this. We've been to how many track types at every track type, right? We've been to super speedway, bottom pole. People at the bottom do the best. We've been to the road course where actually drivers starting up top seem to do better, right? And then we've been to short tracks, which is kind of all over the place, but usually leaning the turds in the back do the worst.
Mm-hmm. They go laps down.
And now we get to what used to be. Listen, when I started with NASCAR, I'm from the old school. All right, when I started with NASCAR, almost every track was a 1.5 mile.
They call them the cookie cutters.
Yeah, they were all this, right? They didn't have these fancy road courses. They didn't have any of that.
Yeah, this is one of the more unique kind of cookie cutters. You know, I like these. I like these 3 tracks in particular: Kansas, Las Vegas, Homestead, because they're multi-groove tracks. So looking at the multi-groove, easy passing ones where the fast cars and the skilled drivers make their way to the front. And that's exactly what we see happen here every time.
I love it. So, Taco, I think the best way we can get prepared for this one is to just give a reminder of what happened last week, who looked good last week, who was driving fast but then like spun out, didn't finish that great, but the car was awesome. Like, give me a little bit of that scouting report from the twin sister track that happened last week, so we can apply a little bit of that knowledge here to this track.
Yeah, so I mean, last week you had the Hendrick guys up top. Larson and Byron were the cars to beat, but right there with them, oddly enough, Josh Berry, your race winner, was up there, qualified up front. No one played him. He's 3% owned. The optimal wasn't even close to being hit. He was just up there all race, put himself in position, and got that win legitimately. And we also saw Austin Cindric up there leading laps. We saw, I mean, Blaney was fast again, but had horrible luck once again. We saw guys like Daniel Suarez being up in the top 5 legitimately. Ross Chastain, always good at that track, was up there. Bubba Wallace was pretty fast, but he had a really bad finish. So he has kind of some disguised speed, someone I might like for this week because he had that really rough finish and he actually crushed practice. So people are going to see he finished 28th last week, but he was legitimately up there. And he's got a teammate in Tyler Reddick who's pretty fucking good at this track and at Las Vegas. And he also had a pretty disguised finish where, you know, got into trouble at the end there, finished 24th, but he was up there for most of the race.
It looks like just on quick glance, we're going to have massive place diff value on this particular track. You've got, starting with Denny Hamlin starting 23rd, you got Chastain in 25th place, Bowman, but then Keselowski 32nd, Suarez 33rd. Lots of place diff. Well, we'll ask about how did Shane SVG do last week. But you have a lot of place diff guys here that look pretty obvious. Tyler Reddick starting 20th, even Larson 14th. These are really good spots. What is going on here?
So this week we've got a lot of kind of what you're looking for, these 1.5s, some place differential guys who have lap leading upside. And this has been a good track historically for your place differential guys because it is easy to find those passing lanes and move forward if you're fast. And qualifying isn't really representative of how fast your car is. Like, we don't really expect Alex Bowman to go out there and dominate this race from the lead. That's just not how Homestead works. If you look at the stage 1 odds, Bowman is only the 4th favorite to win the stage. You know, as the favorite to win the stage, Kyle Larson starting in 14th. Is the same odds as Byron starting 5th to win the stage 1. So we expect Larson to knife his way up there. We've seen him smurf all over the Truck Series and Xfinity Series this week. Was going for the weekend sweep, but I kind of liked how the ending happened in Xfinity last week or yesterday. They kind of boxed him in, just let Allgaier win. Like, get out of here, you cup racer.
No one wants the big dogs hanging in the lower series. Screw you, pal. But all right, let me ask you this: do the win odds and the top 5 odds, are they reflective of some of what you're talking about in terms of the cars being faster last week? Having a better shot. I mean, Berry 29-1, starting. Where's he starting?
Second.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! Right. So, I mean, this isn't necessarily fully reflective of like Berry is now, in the killer car or anything like that. I'm not really feeling that from this. Do we have to play Berry this week?
I mean, it just seems like that Woodbros car is a lot closer to a Penske car now, and we found out through Xfinity that Matt Matty Burrito fucking sucks, and Harrison Burton really sucks because Blaney was in this car and he was looking pretty good way back in the day. Probably a skill issue there because Josh Berry is quite good and he's definitely proving it all throughout the season that he's going to be here to stay in this car. So, yeah, all the results from last year, remember, that was in the Stewart Haas car. He's in his new equipment here and he is shining. So,
any takeaways from practice that we need to discuss here?
Yeah, we want that long run speed. They all took pretty long practice sessions. Now, Group A, what we see here usually is most of the bad cars are in Group A. So you've got some of your guys that have struggled a bit this season with their finishes, like Blaney, famously, Ty Gibbs. They're in that Group A, but they're going to be faster. And if you look towards the bottom, we see all the scrubs are in Group A, so it kind of messes up a little bit. I might not go crazy over like a Gregson or an Eric Jones that had speed, but they're in Group A, and there's less rubber on the track and the conditions were better. Like, I wouldn't read too much into those, but most of the good cars are in Group B, and we're gonna want to look at that long run speed, and it seems pretty telling. You've got
10 lap.
Kyle
What do you want?
Larson up
5 lap?
there. You've got 20. Fuck it. Almost everyone took a 20
Whoa.
lap run. That's what we're looking
Oh,
at.
wow. Okay.
Hell
Whoa.
yeah. We want that long run speed. And Kyle Larson, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense here.
Bubba, but he's A. You got Willie
Mhm.
B, Tyler Reddick. Okay, we know they're good.
Blaney's always good at that long
Yeah.
run. Ty Gibbs is scary as fuck. I don't know if anyone's even going to play him anymore. He's been go to the finishes tab real quick and just look
I know
at
he's
Ty
been
Gibbs.
horrible. I've been playing him. I've been
He has
experiencing.
been
Yeah.
dog shit.
Until it turns around.
Horrendous. But, It's going to happen eventually, but I just think the field is going to just completely stop playing him at a certain point. Like, it's so bad.
Gross. But let me try the 15 lap here, see if it looks any different. Bubba on top, Larson, Blaney. Again, we got to watch out.
These guys were all fast last week as well.
Byron, Reddick. So really, Larson, Byron, Reddick. Those three names come up a lot. Bell, Elliott from the Suarez, kind of not so great, but still was awesome last week. Killer Priest. Anybody clearly bad? Ross Chastain, not so good. All right.
You see that Priest was third last week?
Killer Priest, man. Where was I? I don't think I was around last week for the race.
Oh, that's sad. Yeah, he had to go somewhere. I had to run the solo pod, but it was
I don't remember what happened last week.
It was Killer Priest season for sure.
That's my guy too. I feel like I missed out on my favorite guy. All right, so let's take a quick look at the front page here and see what we can glean from some of these odds. Of course, you can see last week's result. And I think that's important to pay attention. Obviously, you were saying what they did last week is going to be predictive a little bit because they're in the same vehicles. I'm assuming Blaney crashed out last week. Reddick, had some issues last week as well?
Yeah, Blaney's just been in a crash out season. It's been rough for him, but it's really checkers records for him. And he's finished runner up here 2 years in a row. He's second favorite still, despite all of this, even over Reddick.
It's just variance.
Oh, he's a long run guy. This is a long run track. Because you want the short run guys at the tracks where everyone gets on a restart, everyone goes single file, and there's not much passing. There's a ton of passing here. You want that good long run speed. You want to manage your tires well.
Yeah, Killer Priest, Suarez, Berry, 1, 2, and 3. Who would have ever had that on their bingo card? And there's Dinger.
Well, nobody had it on their DraftKings card, that's for sure. No one even came close to the nuts. And Dinger, look at his history at this track. Dinger is going to be like on people's radar for sure. 8th, 5th, and 3rd here in the next gen car.
Been pretty good here. Dinger. Who else? Haley a little bit. And then the rest of these guys did as expected. Ty Dillon, acceptable 21st placer. Okay.
Ty Dillon, someone I'm oddly on this week just for salary relief. That and the fact that there's just parity. There's more parity than ever before, but he's still being priced like he's guaranteed to go laps down. I don't know.
And SVG, my favorite sleeper for road tracks and all of that, is not really horrible in practice. Horrible.
Those 4 intermediate tracks we've seen him at, we've just seen nothing. Last week was god-awful, super slow. Wrecked constantly. It was...
I'd unfriend you.
I don't even know if you can unfriend him at this point. Doris ain't going to be very active this week.
Doris would have been horrifically wrong last week. I'm glad she didn't show
Doris
up.
Got put in her fucking place.
Yeah. No, she didn't show up last week. She knew.
She knew. She knew to stay away. That is right.
I'm not even touching this one. All right. Let's jump right into it. Driver by driver, guys. But before we fully dive in, I do want to mention something that I've been talking about. I talked about this a couple of episodes ago. That we were putting together what is a really effectively a passive income tool, the most powerful betting tool I think ever created here at the Sharp app. It's called the Sharp app Arbitrage tool. And Taco, we were just talking about this pre-market. I've been arbing for the last week. Arbs are situations where you can bet both sides of a bet. Look at right here. There's a 4%er on screen. You could bet both sides of a bet and make sure you win. So I'll give you an example right here. So I wish I could do this right now, but we're live streaming. But Derek, I'm going to pause it so I could talk about that one, right? Rebounds over 9.5 plus 108. Under 9.5 plus 100. That means if I bet $100 on either side of this, No matter
Free
who, yeah, I'm
money.
going to win
Free money.
either $8 or $10 and get my money back. That is how arbing works. These are lock button. This is not gambling. You have to be here. You have to be here doing it. You have to have multiple sports books to use. And there are some tricks to this, of course, which I talk about. I've done a lot of explainer videos over at Sharp App already explaining exactly how I do it. But this is an unbelievable way to juice your personal income. And I just going to want to show you what I've done the last week. And I mixed in, I made a mistake here a couple days ago. I'm not perfect. I did the same side twice. I did the over 2 times, cost me 200. Still ended up only losing 144 on that day, but 373. That we launched this tool on Thursday. Ignore these massive bets. Arbin now. Enough with that. But every day so far since Thursday, green, 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 green. It's just all green. All green. Had the one hiccup. And then yesterday I bet some UFC stuff. Again, the only thing tainting it is me allowing my own real bets in there as well. But this has been a green machine. And I don't even mind doing my regular bets because you're always winning money back doing the arbs. Now, what makes this tool different? Here's another one, 3%er. I'd like to do it right now. Shy Gilgis, both sides of it. In this case, this is plus 100. Or no, this is minus 115 and plus 130. So I bet $115 to win 100 on this side. I bet $100 to win 130 on this side. And if Shy goes under 6.5 assists, I'm going to make $30. And if he goes over, I'm going to break even. I'm still churning volume on the sports books, getting all my bonuses, all that good stuff along the way. So that's how this tool works. It updates in real time. The difference between this tool and some others that exist are the speed. I've seen a couple of these that exist out there. They're a minute, 2 minute delayed for the most part. There is not a faster one from screen, from sportsbook to screen than this one, and that's why we're getting the best spots. And you'll see that one of the other cool features of this tool at Sharp is that these change in real time. They are auto-refreshing. Our CTO, Ray, has been interviewed by multiple tech magazines about bringing this tech to life. It is next-level stuff, but this is an awesome tool if you are a person who likes to make money. And make money sports betting without risk. If you need a side hustle, if you're a couple $100 a day every single day consistently would help you, I advise you to go check it out. Go to Sharp App. It is the Pro Plus subscription. Taco, I know you're going to join me doing this as well. It is unbelievable. You'll make more doing this than you make with your full salary, I think. Maybe, if you're really good. This is another replacement salary. Anyway, for the first 100 people that sign up, we've already got it reduced from 250 down to 179. And for the first 100 people that sign up, we're actually giving a promo code called Founders. You're the ARB Founders crew. So promo code Founders knocks an additional $30 off. You get this for $150. You pay $150. You sit here, you ARB. I felt weird going out last night. Look at all these ARBs, even doing this thing. It's costing me money doing this podcast. Doesn't matter. They come and come and come all throughout the day. Look at them changing on screen, guys. I promise you this is real. I'm personally shocked at how successful this has been, how it works. I mean, we built this tool. We spent the last 7 months building this thing. It finally came to life. And again, I am shocked at how many ARBs pop up and how easy this thing is to use. So I advise everybody to go to Sharp App right now and sign up for the Pro Plus plan using promo code Founders. And you will not be disappointed. And I will teach you how to use this. I do live streams every couple days while I'm doing these, teaching you all the tricks. There are some little tricks that you need to learn. Account health becomes the biggest concern. Just making sure my accounts don't get limited. I keep them going because I don't want the gravy train to ever end. So I advise you to check it out, enjoy, and earn a second income arbing. So I can't tell anybody more than that. This thing is awesome. Follow my tracker on Picket if you think it's crazy. I've been posting my stuff in my channel in the DFS Army Discord as well. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up directly. I'm happy to help. I'll get you started. I'll show you how to do it. All right. Back to it, Taco.
Hell yeah.
Let's break it down. You want to do some arbing, Taco. You know you do.
I'm ready to do some arbing. I'm in a good sportsbook state. I'm down for this. We're like
Indiana is great. By the way, we have guys. We have guys, Darth Pasta, BMAT. who are in like Texas and California, you don't even need to be in a legal sports betting state because the exchanges exist. You know, Novig, ProfitX are the two I use the most, Rebet and Flip. So you could do this from anywhere. You don't even have to be in a great state. I'm in New York. I have some sports books here, but I'm using the exchanges more than anything else to do it. So the exchanges won't limit you. They won't give you any trouble. They're happy for the volume. And that's what I like to see. So, yeah, I can't recommend it anymore. It does require a little bit of work. I sometimes have to open one up on my phone. I don't see my phone that great. Gonna go old man style with it.
Ain't that old yet? Come on now.
No, but I'm telling you, like a 25-year-old is real quick with the app. I'm sitting here like trying to figure out what team Shai Gilgeous even plays on. I'm like, all right, I forgot. You know.
Oh no.
You know, I'm moving slower than most, and I'm getting these off like crazy. If you're quick about it, you know, you got that gamer reflex. Taco, you got the gamer reflex.
Maybe.
Super fast. Tapping buttons.
A little re-rolling on TFT, you know?
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so back to it. We're going driver by driver, top to bottom for some top plays. Should we show the cheat sheet, Taco, or should we just go right off the research?
Off the dome. I'll give my thoughts. We'll keep it for the members.
So let's start at the top. Kyle Larson, favored to win the whole thing. 17.3% implied win percentage, super high owned, starting 14th. Is he the best play?
Scroll to the right. Scroll to the right. Let's look at those average lead laps and fast laps at Homestead, Miami Speedway. And Holy Green. That's what we're looking at here. That is Kyle Larson at Homestead, Miami Speedway. The next gen car averaging 98 lead laps, averaging 52 fast laps. There is a reason this motherfucker is going to be 40% owned. Don't need to worry about him. Go to the next guy. Everyone's playing him as they should. Because
he rides the wall well. It's got like this track has all of the Larson's good at this stuff.
When you're riding the wall, just know we've seen it recently with Reddick. We've seen it recently with Larson. Sometimes you hit that wall and you finish 35th. You finish 34th. That is name of the game. And hey, we're gonna get to Reddick here in a bit. I love me some Reddick. He's gonna be so much lower owned than Larson. But I mean, those two, it's gonna be Larson 1, Reddick 2. Larson gets into the wall. We have a situation like last year where it's Reddick 1. So but like in practice, you saw the long run speeds. Like it wasn't even close. He's run the Truck Series race, the Xfinity race this week. Certainly has the most reps of anyone out there. And yeah, just his speed doesn't go anywhere. He's going to easily fly up the field. He's the favorite to win stage 1 starting 14th, which is absurd.
Larson set up to own this track. And you already mentioned Reddick, who is the second highest cost, going to be lower owned, but not like low owned or anything like that. Gives you great place to upside. Yep. So he won here last year. He's always really good at this track when he's not, hitting the wall. So we'll see. It's always kind of a dangerous game with these guys. So they're playable. They're fadeable. If you're going to fade someone, I would prefer to fade Larson without ownership and go in on Reddick. Pretty nice. Starting back in 20th. Until you get to like the 8K range, the name of the game here is guys with place differential upside who also have lap leading upside. There's a bunch of those plays. We're going to talk down some of these guys because I think some of them might not fall in that category. And I need to, Doris needs to help me get off some names in order to make a proper player pool here. All right. So Reddick and Larson, heart both of them. I got you. Next up, we've got Willie Byron starting 5th, 9-1 odds. Not the greatest. Not the greatest odds. Very safe driver here. Your co-favorite to win stage 1, starting in 5th there. Not a bad option. I mean, long run speed's pretty decent in practice. Not as good as like a Larson, of course. Just not as aggressive. He's the more conservative, safe option up here. He's been the most consistent car this year for sure. Just like a top 5 guy, isn't going to put up the crazy amounts of fast laps as guys like Reddick and Larson. So I'd definitely prefer Byron on Fanduel over Draftkings. He just doesn't project out well Draftkings because
just not really a fast lap guy. He doesn't have that crazy upside that Larson and Reddick have, but still a fine play. It's really hard to make a case to fade Byron, and he was one of the faster guys last week at Las Vegas as well.
Christopher Bell has been one of the hottest drivers this season.
Oh yeah, he had a tire, like a loose wheel, and pitted in his teammates' pit stall to fix it. So a little kerfuffle last week put an end to his insane run. But yeah, I mean, the winner here back in 2023, top 5 last year. Another guy that's like place differential plus real race winning upside combo. It's hard to get off of that. That's the thing. A lot of these plays are very similar up top.
So similar. That's what I'm saying, man. How do we get on the right ones? So yeah, Bell looks pretty good, a little lower owned than the other one. Then you've got Blaney, who's had a little bout of bad luck lately.
Yeah, but he's the second favorite to win this race.
Yeah. What is going on?
Demon. Yeah, runner up here the last 2 years. Yeah, and if you look at those recent results, you see he's been played with the DNF bug for quite a while now, but when he's not, he always legitimately has one of the fastest cars in the field. So his probably a good play to go in on, especially if you're like going against game loggers or whatever. His game log looks awful, but I mean, realistically, he's going to have a fast long run speed in this race. Like that's just going to happen. He's going to be up there barring, another setback. And we don't try to predict setbacks here. It's just so happened to have gotten them the last few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how everybody's so good at this track type, but then you have Denny Hamlin also, right?
I think we just really know he's good at this. Yeah. He's just got he's got really good short run speed. Maybe not the best fit here, more of just like a 5th place dude, but he started way back in 23rd. And he can win. He was like 3rd here last year, like solid. Maybe he has a little bit less of the race winning upside, but makes up for it with his really deep place differential. And this is a very place differential friendly 1.5. So your player pool is either going to be really spread out up top, or you're going to have to just kind of pick and choose your favorites. I could see the case for fading Hamlin in GPP, but he's going to project out really well.
I think you got to fade some of these guys, Taco. You can't just play them all. You can't.
Well, you're not going to get into some that I'm fading here for sure.
Yeah, but no, even this top group, like I don't want to call it out here on the show because it always goes. I almost should call it out so you guys can do the opposite. But we just talked about all the way from Hamlin up to Larson. Everybody's got a shot. Clearly, Larson, Reddick the best. Bell and Byron kind of really interesting. Blaney super interesting. Yeah, Hamlin and Elliott to me are probably the ones that I'd be like, you know what? It's too many of these guys. I'm gonna not Logano, probably this trio. So if you guys like to fade the geeks like fades, I feel like Hamlin, Elliott, and Logano are names that maybe I'm just gonna skip.
Yeah, I'm not really big on, I guess, Byron this week because like I'm kind of really feeling those more aggressive drivers. I'm definitely more on Larson, Reddick, Blaney in this group.
That's fair. What about Bell? Man, I don't want to fade him.
I know. So I don't want to either, but he's got the worst odds of anyone 10K or above. Last week was like a fluke, right? It wasn't. He still ended up finishing 12th despite everything. I don't know. A lot of these guys have really rock solid cases, and that's why they're up here. That's why they cost so much.
Yeah.
Everyone else is a little bit flawed.
Can't play them all. Chastain was good last week with Taco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just looks really slow in practice is the only issue.
Starting
25th. Yeah, so he's got good place differential upside. Yeah. I'll take his teammate, though, who looked even better last week and is starting even deeper in the field and is even cheaper. But
he's more of a core play.
There.
Yeah. D-Swizz is more of a core play. We'll get to him. But
I just can't find myself getting on Chastain and Buescher. I think they just have less like lap leading upside compared to all these other guys you're paying up for. I kind of want to pay up to the tippy top here. Although if there's going to be more parity in the slate, you've got to think that Larson and Reddick might have a little bit less, like they might be a little bit less of favorites than they usually would be here. It's kind of the issue. That's why I'm really thinking about Larson. It's just I look at the fast laps and the lead laps here. It just makes so much sense on DraftKings. Maybe on Fanduel, I'd fade a Larson. Maybe that might be the move.
There are some names down here that I think make the I mean, it's tough, but yeah, Chastain, Kyle Busch, Bowman on the Bowman. Kyle Busch has, you know, horrible practice time, nondescript salary, weird
Awful
starting
track
point.
type. Last
Yeah, it's
season
a
and
no
this
for
season
me.
it seemed it's just not been great. Yeah, I'm not on
I
Busch.
need
And
Randy up here.
I say Bowman get out of here too. I'm not taking Bowman pole sitter 8-6.
Nope.
Not
So
at
that's
this
an
track.
easy
This
fade.
is yeah.
You know what? Here's what's great about Bowman. This ownership, if correct, is like a nice little. I think you can. For me, I'm gonna just full fade Bowman.
Yeah.
We didn't see any. So two things
Can
that
only
you
go
said
backwards.
on that. The two things that you said was, number one, there's no real advantage to the pole sitter here, in terms of being difficult to pass. We don't have any historical edge to the pole sitter as we look at the average fantasy points. And Bowman's not that guy.
He ain't that guy.
Sorry.
He's a 7th place guy.
Yeah, he ain't that guy. So I think that's a comfortable 23% fade. That'll get rid of some of the vigorish of this track, if you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the vig. Moving down the list here. So Chastain, Busch, Bowman, meh, unfriend you in that order.
Yep. And then see, we're getting to a lot of these unfriends here because Briscoe, what I say last week, I said this is his last week was his litmus test. And what did we see? We saw he's very mediocre. So that's kind of what we have to go off of. We can't look at his past results with Stewart-Haas Racing. Doesn't matter. Like he won at Darlington, cool. I'm just erasing all that from my mind, and I'm only looking at that Las Vegas race, and he was really mid.
Let's ask Elon what he would do with Chase Briscoe starting in 4th place for this race.
Go yourself. Is that clear?
Yep. I think it's clear. I
don't
know what
have your teammate hitting your pit box.
What else could you say?
Imagine letting another dude invade your box. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to listen to Elon there and not play Chase Briscoe. Bubba Wallace.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little Bubba.
So his intermediate track results you've seen are just bad. Ain't no one playing Bubba. He finished 28th last week. He sucks. Bubba was fast last week. He was fast last week, and look at his long run practice speeds. Very quick.
I mean, this guy 1, 1, 2. What is going on here? Bubba's got the car.
Look, the mid range is making a resurgence here.
Wait. He was with the A group. He was with the losers. Yep. He was with
I'm still just going off the last week where he had one of the best average running positions. He didn't finish the race well at all. Obviously, ran into a late race wreck there, but I'm going off the fact that the middle of the field here is revitalized. This is usually where you hit the point where, okay, these guys can't dominate. They can't win. Bubba, I'm going to give him a real shot here.
There it is. I mean, he was with the remedial A group in practice, but he dominated. You know what happens when you dominate in like remedial? They send you up with the normies the next year.
Well, that's just what Larson's done all week.
Yeah. He's ready to move up. Bubba Wallace, sneaky. We talked about this before we actually started. That's why he said that. The reference, so people understand, is we're looking for who was driving well last week, because we got twin races who kind of like didn't finish great because of circumstance. And Bubba was one of those guys. So he will be less like enthused than maybe they should starting now. I'm actually surprised at 22% ownership. I think that sounds high, unless people are aware that Bubba's good.
When you see someone who's first on the practice charts, they're always going to get that bump in ownership. So that kind of sucks. I just enjoy the leverage of him looking like he finished 28th, but his average running position was like 11th, which put him in like the top 5 of the whole field last week.
Yeah.
And then we've got,
I like it.
Then we got super obvious place differential in Keselowski. Not a whole lot to really say there. He's just going to move up 20 spots and finish 10th and be all right.
Is that good enough?
Optimizers are going to love him.
Is that good enough to win with Keselowski outside of cash games? Like, is he good enough to be a top 5?
He is a cash game play if I've ever seen one, because I don't know if he has the race winning upside here, 40-1. RFK hasn't really had that speed at the intermediate tracks since the first half of last season when they were really good. Second half, him and Busher didn't really show much. Last week they were very, upper middle pack guys, but not like top 10 speed. Keselowski, could always pull some rabbits out of his hat. He does tend to do that. So him starting in the rear is, that's just a very high floor play. Optimizers are going to enjoy this play a lot. I just think that Priest and Suarez for cheaper might outvalue him, and that might be the way to go.
Basically, you get the same thing with Suarez and maybe Priest for a slight discount. Why not? But Kez, there is some history with Keselowski in this track. He's got back in the day, he was really good here.
Back in my day, back in his Penske era, yeah. I mean, definitely more of a case for him than Busher. I think Busher sucks at this track. He's the first full-on easy fade for me because he's starting a little too high. Not going to be leading anything. His best finisher ever is 13th. No real lap leading upside. No fast lap upside. I mean, if he
unfriend you.
If he goes out and wins, we got to retire Doris forever. But that just seems like the safest Doris on the slate so far.
Unfriend you. Only 6% owned, though. You're not even gaining on the field very much with that fade. That's a weak fade. Guys, by the way, if you're enjoying this breakdown, there's Savage. There he is.
Hey.
What's up, my man? How many uniques do we use for booster contests? For boosters?
Oh, shoot.
3?
I love hitting the boosters.
A little 3 unique action?
I'm usually a 1 unique guy. I might say 2 for this one. Split the difference here.
Boosters. You got to mix them up.
Yeah.
3 uniques. 3 uniques. And stick to the core plays. Stick to the plays that Taco and Brady have identified as some of the best plays. I think you can win your boosters, no problem. You might even be able to win a booster. I don't think you can. I think you can win smaller tournaments with, you just got to catch the dominator, but with a lot of play stiff and just catch that right dominator. If Larson leads 100 laps and you don't have him, you're not going to win. And projection and fantasy points are the same in this sport, Savage. There's not going to be any difference. Do not change that setting. That's only a setting we're going to really change for the most part for NFL, where we have the prop projections, which are the world's greatest projection model ever created for NFL. So yes, we'll use that for NFL. We'll keep dominating until other people catch up to us. But as far as NASCAR, stick with the projections that are there. And guys, if you're enjoying this breakdown, smash. You don't have to be like Savage. We don't need a super chat, although we appreciate it. But more importantly is hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the DFS Army channel here. We got a lot of stuff coming out constantly. DFS everything right here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. So make sure to check that out. And of course, if you enjoy making money easily and having a second income, I strongly suggest you check out the ARB tool, the Pro Plus package over at sharp.app, promo code founders, $30 off for this monthly subscription. You can make $2,000-$3,000 a month pretty easily as an income doing this, guys. So do not forget, go check it out. It's new. It's a week old.
Hell yeah.
I told you it was coming, and now it's here. And you want to get in on this before, as each 100 users that we get in, the prices actually, we have to raise the price. We don't want too many people on this tool. So get in there now, lock it in, and lock it in for that price. I'm telling you, people who aren't doing that are going to regret it. All right. Where were we?
We're down to the 2 crazy people from last week that popped up out of nowhere and barely even got a price increase. Talking about Austin Cindric, we saw jump out and dominate stage 1 at Las Vegas to everyone's utter shock and surprise.
Austin Cindric. Where did he come from?
Penske.
Really? We're playing Austin Cindric this week, starting 8th? This guy has been like...
I think we're just not fading him is probably the right way to go here. I wouldn't overcorrect. I would just not unfriend him and just, splash him in there. He's at least earned that much respect. Barry is interesting.
Wait, can we take a few chances?
Yeah.
We should take a few chances.
You will take your chances.
I know.
Yeah, and massive multi-entry. I think you got to keep Cindric in the player pool at this point. You can't. It's not just an easy unfriend him starting up there. He's looking a lot more equal to his Penske teammates finally, in his third season here.
There we go. All right. Well, Cindric, man, coming out of nowhere last week to do well. Now we're like, all right, his car's pretty good. He was doing good last week.
Yeah, it's like the same story for Barry now. The Woodbros Penske affiliated. He's looking like just straight at Penske. I think he was top 3 in average running position he was tied with, I think, Larson for best running average running position last week at Las Vegas. Like, he was up there constantly. Him winning the race, it kind of seemed like a fluke, but he really just put himself in position big time. He was up there all race, always waiting for him to fall back, and he just never did. So that was a legitimate win. We're giving him that legitimate win.
Love it.
And the odds are reflective of it. But both of these guys have really shit practice times, which would be, the downside overall.
There's a third guy that was great last week. And in this case, it's an easy play. And he's the highest owned guy on the entire slate. And that's Daniel Suarez, a.k.a. D-Swizz, who is, he did well last week. Second place.
Yeah, it's got to be either him or Larson for highest owned. It's going to be close. I wouldn't be shocked if Suarez, because Suarez was like really fucking good. He was the top 10 car legitimately. Was up there leading, runner-up finish, just a solid performance from Suarez. We don't even need that. That was overkill. That was huge overkill. You just need a top 10 run from Suarez, and at 7.6, he's good to go. And he certainly has that upside. Finished 10th here back in 2022. But I mean, we say we're looking off of last week heavily. We got to look at Barry and Suarez. We absolutely have to. We cannot, it's so much easier to play Suarez, of course. It's just, we got to stick to looking to last week, and these guys were fucking fast as hell.
Suarez is going to be super high owned, rightfully so. Again, starting 33rd is crazy. He doesn't even need to get to third place or second like last week. As a matter of fact, if he gets to 12th or 11th or 10th, that is a lock button nuts run at this price. So you don't need that much out of Suarez for him to win you this tournament. And he's not really hurting you anywhere pretty much 20th or above. Like at 20th place, he's in the 35 points range already for you.
And the fact that Bro was leading laps last week, like that was so unnecessary.
Yeah.
If he does any of that, it's over.
Yeah, that's just egregious at that point.
Yeah.
So he's 71-1. I'm not in love with the odds, really. I would have thought they would have gotten a little better, but I guess because he's starting 33rd, they're just kind of saying, all right, too bad you're starting that far back. But like, I don't know. I think that's an interesting 71-1 long shot to roll the dice on. That's where I'd be looking to make my to put my $5 bet, $5, to win 70,
May as well with the parity going on right now we're going to see these odds more normalized moving forward, I think, if it's going to stay like this.
Yeah, that seems a little bit crazy to me for the guy who finished second in an identical track last week. Like that's 71-1. That's $5 gets you 300.
Well,
Third 350 or something like that. That's almost an arb without having another side to it. All right. So Suarez, the best of these three, the highest owned, but don't ignore, Cindric and Barry. They're going to be tough to click the button for. I am not normally a play the $7,700 guy starting second kind of person, but I mean, got to do a little bit of it just because of what happened last week, I guess. The practice was not great. Nothing stands out about these guys.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Couple of names that have been a little bit maybe not that great so far this season. Start with Carson Hocevar. Last 30th place last week. What happened to him?
Oh, he just got into it late in the race. Like, he was one of several guys that just got taken out there. Host, his practice time is a little bit inflated here in that A group. You could see at the intermediate tracks, he wrecks out quite a bit. Very aggressive. We've seen him get more comeuppance in these types of races, but when he actually keeps it straight, he's like a top 15 guy, right? It's kind of what we can expect out of him. Starting 50, really milk toast spot. Like the odds are good.
Yeah, not loving it. And then Ty Gibbs is just a disaster this year. I don't know how else to put it. He's just not driving well.
No one's gonna play him. So I mean, do with that information as you will.
He's in a
Jeremy here brings up
Toyota.
a pretty. Jeremy brings up a pretty good point here that they're not exactly identical tracks, right? Like Homestead is a much older surface, and yeah, it will rip up those tires a lot more than Vegas, which is a little bit more by the books, and that's going to favor like your older drivers. It's kind of like why I like a Hamlin a little bit more at an older, more seasoned track like this. And I'm not going to like the Hosevars and Gibbs of the world, the more aggressive younger drivers at these kind of tracks.
That's fair.
Now, just because you're young doesn't mean you're aggressive. Like Barry is, I'd say, is pretty safe a lot of the time. A bit more conservative of a driver. Zane Smith, another guy who's a more conservative driver. But we're really just looking for long run speed here, even more so than we were last week. And yeah, Barry, I mean, it really depends on how many like fast laps he gets along the way on DraftKings. Like if he's actually up there getting some fast laps or finding some clean air or even getting out to the lead, that could change his outlook significantly.
Yeah, if he just to me, no. The answer to this question is no. If Barry didn't lead laps or didn't get any fast laps and he winds up finishing 7th, he goes from 2nd to 7th. That's probably going to be a score in the range of 36, 37. I'm doing like mental math. The best
you can see here, if you give him the 8th place finish with 18 lead laps and 10 fast laps, that's still under 40. And you need to go over 40 here. So he's you're playing him on the off chance he like leads laps significantly again, or God forbid
finishes top
again,
3.
Right?
Yeah, he'd have to finish.
I still think that's a very low percent chance overall, or he would have to have like an incredible finish.
I would guess that it's a lower than 17% chance that happens. Let's talk about a guy who is the man. Now, I've been touting Priest here for years, and finally, the skill is matching the end result is matching the skill,
the equipment, and just the field being more equal now. They're really helping Priest because Bros looked really good this year, really good. The shorter tracks, he's out there running top 5, finishing top 5 last week at Las Vegas. Like, Bro's in a much better position than the RFK guy. He's looking better than the other RFK drivers, Keselowski and Buescher. Like, he's been really impressive when he, keeps all 4 tires on the ground and isn't at a super speedway. Like, really impressive season from Priest so far. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for him. Really cheap play. Awesome value here. I love it. I think he's going to be much lower owned than Suarez.
32% ownership projection, starting 31st. The win odds are pretty much the same as D-Swizz. Actually, even better, which is weird. His implied top 10 is 13%, where Suarez is 10.
I updated the win odds. No, I updated the win odds. The top 5 and 10 odds weren't out yet. They're probably out by now, but this morning they only had win odds up.
Okay, so but there's some numbers on screen here, but either
way,
that's
what it opened up as.
Yeah. Oh, that was the opening. Okay, but opened up. Forget opened up. The same win odds as Suarez, about the same starting price, going to be lower owned. Did really well last week. Kind of a similar play.
Yeah.
Going to be lower owned. He's in a real car. And then, so I loves me some Killer Priest. Let's go. And next we've got the Dinger. The Dinger had a good run last week as well, finished 8th. Has had good finishes in this style of track. Homestead last time finished 8th. Yeah, he's been a top 10 guy
every single year in the next gen car at this track. Colleague has looked amazing at this track.
I feel like he normally doesn't start 10th though. This 10th place starting position is
he
not.
He has finished 10th, or he has started 10th and been optimal here before.
Really?
Yeah, he has.
That's wild.
Is the thing. I mean, he's benefiting so much from this this additional parity in the field. Like 50-1 odds for AJ is awesome, and you can see it like Nashville last year, running 11th. Like it's legitimate, 13th at Darlington this season before, like several top 15 finishes there at all sorts of different intermediate tracks. Like he's good at intermediate tracks. he's just been held back by his equipment. Now that the playing field's evened a little bit more, I mean, AJ is not bad at intermediate tracks. We've seen it with Colleague in the Xfinity series where he's gone out and won some oval races. So he's just not this road course only guy that people think he is.
When you say limited by his equipment and when you've referenced parity, what you're saying, just to explain to the people, is this season, lighter teams like Cowlig and Spire or Wood or whatever don't seem to be at as much of a disadvantage just from an equipment perspective as they have been in past years. Do we know why? Is there something going on, or it's just that observe the phenomenon and react?
That was the goal of the next gen car. More common source parts. The cars are just, they've applied socialism, maybe more like communism, to the field and equaled the disparity between the haves and the have-nots. It used to be we would go to a track like this and there are like 8 dudes that could win. Now there are like 25 dudes that could win.
Yeah. Makes DFS a little harder. Got to pay attention more.
Leverage. It could make leverage a little easier with more people being in play.
I don't like
Depends on how you look at it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It doesn't matter how you feel about it. We're just looking at this slate objectively, and we've just got to, be ahead of the curve. If that's what NASCAR wants to do, then we have to figure out that's what NASCAR wants and play accordingly.
To me, NASCAR should reflect America because it's one of the most American sports there is. And that means the haves should have advantages.
That means that, we just got to get Michael Jordan to, just dump his Jordan money, his Nike money into 23XI and have Bubba win every race.
I'll be down with that too. Yeah. They should
Gibbs
let him.
And Hendrick might have something for him, but we'll see.
They should let him. All right, a couple of maybe I kind of want to unfriend, but no. McDowell has not been good this year, Taco. 200 to 1.
The last 2 years he's been rough with front row, but now he's with Spire. I mean, we saw him end up with a decent result at Las Vegas. He wasn't super fast. He just kind of ended up in a good spot towards the end there, finishing 16th. He's playable starting 26, but he's not someone you're excited to play really. And then Stenhouse after him there's not much reason to play him in the
Stenhouse has tracks, if it's a super speedway, I'm putting Stenhouse in there.
Yeah. Just not seeing it. The long run practice speeds were shit.
Yeah, no, nothing good about Stenhouse or to go off of so far. Noah Gragson, really interesting.
Another guy in new equipment.
Front row, very fast. Group A, so he was in the remedial group, but was fast. The win odds are crazy high here, but he is starting third, so sketchy.
Yeah, so last week he was middle of the pack when it came to like average running position at Las Vegas, which is one of his best tracks actually. So I'd call that kind of disappointing. And he's another one of those guys in brand new equipment, brand new team, where we're looking at like, okay, this is your audition pretty much with the new front row equipment here. And it looks not that great, but yeah, he's jumped up to 25 to 1. Practice time is a bit inflated. No real like history here, right? 'Cause we're not too concerned about, his runs here in completely different equipment. He was over finishing a lot last season at these types of tracks, but I don't know if we're looking at like a Josh Berry type situation. You can't fully unfriend him, I guess. You might have to like play him in a lineup or something, but it would be shocking, but not 100% shocking if he did something in this race starting third just because of what happened last week. But
basically,
I'm
Barry did it last
against
week.
it happening.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a Barry situation.
And
this
another
is like if you're playing 100 lineups, you put him in like one. You like make a Gragson lineup just for the hell of it with like all the best plays, but with him as your low owned guy.
Yeah. Well, that could work too. Listen, that's how you win big tournaments, right? That's how Somebody should have had Barry last week. That's
the thing was, you didn't need Barry last week to win big tournament. You didn't need the right lineup because it was such a weird, like, when a 3% guy's in the nuts, it's kind of what happens. You don't need the perfect lineup.
Yeah, but let's play these 3% guys, and then certainly helps you, gives you a much better shot at getting there.
For sure.
Austin Dillon, so he's starting 30th. He's getting a little touch of ownership, not too much. I think Brady had a little bit of interest.
Brady likes him. I'm more into a different Dillon. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that one. But spoiler alert, Taco, that we got to keep him here until the end.
Oh yeah, we'll get to why in a second. You just hang tight.
By the way, guys,
Dillon,
wait, let me remind people: you're watching this show. We don't have ads on. I turned off monetization. Now, of course, I mentioned the ARB tool, but that's really a gift to you guys who are watching to let you know that there's a way to make money every single day without any chance of losing, as long as you're paying attention, and it exists and it's real and it sounds too good to be true, and it's not. I've been doing it, and you guys need to check this out. But beyond that, we have monetization turned off on this video, Taco, because I want everybody to watch it start to finish. Enjoy the show. All we ask is hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, be part of the channel here, share it, tell your friends, do something.
That's all we want.
So we appreciate you. All right. Austin Dillon.
Yeah,
I really get it.
RCR has not been good in this package. Him and Kyle Busch have looked awful last week, all of last year. I don't really see it from Dillon. I guess there's some place differential upside, sure, and he's like really cheap now, but I would prefer playing Eric Jones in this range or going cheaper or just kind of sticking to 7K guys. There's way more value in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. So Dillon, I kind of feel like, you're saying the same. To me, this trio is the same play. Like, I don't know how to differentiate. Like Eric Jones, 250 to 1. The odds are terrible. Track history is not the best.
The only case for Jones I'm seeing is last week he was actually pretty fast, qualified up front, had a good running position. He just had a bad finish at the end. So I guess his speed is a little disguised there. But it looks like he only has short run speed this week, which kind of is not what you want here at this track. I mean, Dillon does have some good finishes. Like back in 2024, he had a top 5 run here, had a top 10 run in 2023, which is cool and all. He's got better odds than Eric Jones. So I don't know. This whole range is really underwhelming to me.
Yeah, Austin Dillon.
SVG, I just don't believe in yet.
Yeah. SVG really having a tough time on sort of non-specialist tracks so far to start his career.
It's just this track type. Like we've seen him overperform at Martinsville, the short tracks. The
specialty
super speedways. We've seen him lead at Talladega. It's just at the intermediate tracks we just haven't seen the speed there.
Do you know Jones got a hole in his car at the end of practice?
Oh my God! I mean, I assume they'll patch that up. This is the Cup Series.
Yeah,
maybe it'd be an issue if it was the Truck Series, but yeah.
No, I thought they put the hole in there to get a little Fred Flintstone advantage while you're driving, add some leg power, adds a horse.
It seems like something the crew member would do with their foot, just poke a little hole in it for a little aero advantage or something.
Imagine that gave you an aerodynamic. I can only think that's an aerodynamic disadvantage, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean we've seen guys like Harvick do some weird shit like that, but I'm not too worried about it in the Cup Series.
Some nondescript plays coming up, guys. So we're going to fast track it. Here, Zane Smith, turd. Nemechek, turd. Starting too high. Unplayable. Wait. Hold up. Doris, guys, I'm doing it. Here we go. SVG.
I unfriend you.
Zane Smith.
I unfriend you.
John Hunter.
I unfriend you.
Gilly,
I guess is playable.
Gilly. Oh, I have a thing for Gilly too. I got, you know what?
Really?
I'll have a new.
You got a Gilly suit?
Yeah, no, I got something for Gilly.
With your camo hat?
Yeah, no, I got a little Gilly. I got a little something media. By the way, rocking the Gators hat. I don't know if I mentioned it. Go Gators! Let's go March Madness. What's up?
We're in Florida, we got to rep the Gators, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah, Gilly. No.
Anyway, back to Doris here.
Oh yeah, where are you? What about
Riley Herbst?
Doris, Please, Riley Herbst, at least one.
I unfriend you.
I'll take the other 23 XI cars. Not
Cole
Riley.
Custer.
I unfriend you.
Nope.
Dog shit. Wait.
Cody Ware. Wait. I'm skipping one. Cody
I
Ware.
unfriend you.
JJ Yelly.
I unfriend. I unfriend. I unfriend. I unfriend. I unfriend.
She hit.
Hey, bro. I was about to say you got to hit that multiple times for JJ Yelly because
She did it. She was like,
he's like 2.5 seconds off the field. Let's talk about Ty Dillon here. This 6-7K range or anything under 7K is so underwhelming that I look at Ty Dillon all the way at 5.2 and just say, why not? Why not go all the way down to Ty Dillon and finish 21st last week at Las Vegas? Bro just kept it going. He always finishes 24th here. If he finishes 24th here and gets you, 28 points at 5.2, we take that. And we play Larson and we play Reddick.
That's cash game acceptable.
Oh, yeah. And look at his
practice
team.
Times are horrific. There's nothing about this that says he's going to be any good.
Time-wise, it's close. 0.6 seconds off. It's not like it's Yaley 2.5 seconds off or Ware over 1 second off, it's not that bad. And they looked pretty similar last week, and he ended up being fine. And look at his team there, colleague. What has his colleague teammate AJ Allmendinger done at this track? Nothing but top 10s. I do not mind it at all. This team, Ty Dillon, is in much better equipment than he's been in the past, and he's out there with Germain equipment finishing 24th. I think he'll be fine here. I'm playing him.
I love it. What's up, Ghost? Ghost Man.
Yo,
my man. We appreciate you. Hell yeah. Let's go Gators. What's going on? Let's fucking go. All right. Appreciate everybody. Taco, that's going to do it for this one. You want to put together or win pick?
A winner pick.
Your winner pick for this track against the spread. What do you got?
Well, he's not in the top 2 favorites. I'm not going to pick anyone in the top 2 favorites. Hey, what up, Bill? Awesome, Bill.
We appreciate you.
I don't know if he's from Dawsonville, but
Hell yeah. Billy Betts. Billy Betts needs to get on the ARB tool. Then you could live the name. Live the name. Sharp out. Code Founders. $30 off. Pro Plus. All right. So
top 2 guys, right? So this is just outside the range. He's not a top 2 favorite, thanks to Blaney here. So I got to go back-to-back Tyler Reddick. Larson dominates this race. He gets a little too close to the wall. Reddick slides in at the end. He doesn't even dominate this race. He just leads the last 20 laps. And that's what we're looking at here. A good old Reddick win, because can't be sleeping on Reddick at these 1.5s. He's just too good.
I like it. We got a Bowman vote. We've got a Hamlin out of nowhere.
That would be out of nowhere after last year.
We've got Ham in there. I'm going to go with the long shot that I picked out during the show.
There you go.
Give me freaking 7x odds, 7,100 to 1
on delay
for Daniel Suarez to take this thing down. Put a $5 on it. But if I had to take more of a real stab on someone, I think it's Christopher Bell for me. 11 to 1. This guy's been so good. He's a winner.
He's won here. He's won 3 times this year.
Yeah, he's a winner, guys.
He's working on the Infinity Gauntlet, all of the different track types. He's got the short track win, road course win, super speedway win. Needs the intermediate track win. Surely he'll get one throughout the course of the year. He always does. And then last thing he needs is a large track win. He needs to win at Pocono or Michigan or Indianapolis or something. And bam, we got the Infinity Gauntlet of NASCAR.
Yeah. We like Keselowski a little bit, but more as a cash play. Probably not a race winner. Although he does have that age and ability to manage tires thing going for him.
Mm-hmm. And that's the real key difference between last week and this week. Just they're still very similar, more similar than pretty much any 2 tracks, but there's just going to be a little bit more of an edge to those older drivers.
I like it. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this breakdown. NASCAR, what's up? Homestead, Straight Talk Wireless 400. Good luck on this one, everybody. Remember, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. If you don't have DFS Army NASCAR, just go sign up right now for it. If you're watching this, you're like, you know what? That sounds pretty cool. You want access to the domination station optimizer? Go get signed up right now. Use promo code TACO. Gets TACO a little acknowledgement.
Let's go.
And it gets you signed up. And you can, of course, at that point, see the Brady and Taco cheat sheets. The Nilly cheats, you could really see them. I showed the Taco one on screen, so I know you guys paused it. But the Brady one...
I mean, you heard me. I didn't say anything different.
He did break down the whole thing, but we got Brady out there too. I like to balance Taco with a little Brady. It's like squeezing a little lime on your taco.
Little Ty, a little Austin.
Brady's like the lime to your taco.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Get the taco, you eat it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but you squeeze some lime on it. Next level.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like next level, the lime. Little acidity. Little acidity. Got to get it in there. All right. Good luck, everyone. Sharp.app, Pro Plus subscription, promo code Founders. Check out the ARB tool. You will love it. Printing cash all. Every time I leave the house, Taco, I'm like, I'm losing money. I don't even want to go anywhere. Shit. Last night I went out to dinner, and all I could think about was like, this dinner cost me like the money that the dinner cost plus another like $150 in ARBs that I missed.
Yeah.
That's legitimately what's going through my head. It's been 1 week. You guys have no idea how addicting it gets. Give it a shot, guys, and DM me if you have questions. I will help you out. It's sharp.app, Pro Plus plan, promo code Founders. You are one of the founding members, and you're going to get it at a price locked in that no one will ever get after you. We are raising that shit up because it's too good. Trust me. Go check it out. If you don't like it, tell me. Say, Kev, you suck. I'll accept it. I'll move on. I'll agree. But you're going to love it. All right. Take care, everybody. See you next time.